Parable of the Shrewd Manager. St.Luke chapter 16 verses 1 to 18. In this parable, Jesus is talking about serving two masters, God and money. In this context, he told his disciples this parable. There was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. So he called him in and asked him, "What is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management, because you cannot be manager any longer." The manager said to himself, "What shall I do now? My master is taking away my job. I am not strong enough to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do, so that when I lose my job here, people will welcome me into their house." So he called in each one of his master's debtors. He asked the first, "How much do you owe my master?" 800 gallons of olive oil, he replied. That works out to roughly 2,400 kiloliters. The manager told him, "Take your bill, sit down quickly, and make it 400, which works out to roughly 1,200 kiloliters." Then he asked the second, "How much do you owe?" 1,000 bushels of wheat, say about 35,000 kilos. The manager told him, "Take your bill and make it 800, roughly about 28,000 kilos. The master commended the dishonest manager because he has acted shrewdly. For people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kin than the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourself, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into the eternal dwellings. No servant can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money." The Pharisees who loved money heard all this and were sneering at Jesus. He said to them, "You are the ones who justify yourselves in the eyes of men, but God knows your hearts. What is highly valued among men is detestable in God's sight." At first thought, the action of the manager in reducing the debt of the master's debtors appears to be a dubious act, and the master commending such an action appears preposterous. But Jesus says the manager was shrewd in realizing that he could neither work as a laborer nor beg on the street after having worked as manager of his master's estate. So he decides to make friends with his master's debtors, so that when he loses his job, they may be obliged to take care of him. Here the manager was purely working for his own monetary gains. He was serving money as his master and not God. He could not possibly worship both money and God, so he selected money. When Jesus says, "Use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourself," it means use the worldly means to do good to others, so that when the wealth is taken away from you, you will have eternal kingdom. Repeatedly, Jesus has been saying it is difficult for a wealthy person to enter into the kingdom of God, because you cannot serve two masters, money and God. It doesn't mean money is not important. It is. It's the excessive greed or need for accumulation wealth by dubious or wicked means is what denies a person entry into the kingdom of God. Jesus in those days also knew that it is difficult to be wealthy using honest means. Nowadays it is all the more difficult. Not only acquiring wealth through honest means, but using it to good to others is what matters in the end. Choice is ours. God bless us.